Now, it's the third day of the Winter Olympics, and although the action has been fast and furious on the sporting front, there's also been a lot of off-course action making headlines around the world. Our teams have been conducting their own endurance marathon event, keeping an eye across the Sochi stories. They joined Karen Giannoni overlooking the BBC newsroom for us now. Karen, where are you?
I'm actually in the entrance to the BBC, John, where you walk in every day. If you could just glimpse over my shoulder, you can probably see the rain has stopped for just a few minutes at least. Sue talking about the flooding and the rain here in the UK. But yeah, the sport seems to have taken over. However, that doesn't mean there aren't other stories being followed really quite avidly around the world about what's going on in Sochi. With me, Simona from BBC Monitoring and Anne-Marie Tomczak from BBC Trending. And Anne-Marie, first of all, there's a story, quite a serious story, about stickers, the use of stickers to commemorate one particular skier who was killed 2 years ago. What are athletes doing in Sochi about it?
Some of the athletes are wearing helmet stickers in commemoration for the Canadian freestyle skier Sarah Burke. She died in a training accident 2 years ago, but the IOC has come out and said that this isn't allowed as it might be considered a political statement. Now, the Australian snowboarder Tora Bright, she's been one of those athletes who's been told to stop wearing the stickers, and she's come out on her Instagram page in fury about it, in frustration about it, saying that the IOC considers these stickers a political statement and they've banned them. Wow, that's what she said. So this question about whether a personal tribute can be considered political is being discussed on social media.
Right.
But people are not just talking about the athletes, they're also talking about the commentators. One conversation I saw online this morning that was trending worldwide was about the French commentator Nelson Montfort. He's being spoken about for all of the wrong reasons, and he's a very well-known commentator in France, but he's known for making gaffes sometimes. And he said a few things already during his commentary which have been picked up by those on social media. One of them where he compared the Korean trainer to Genghis Khan, another where he was watching one of the Norwegian ice skaters. She was in a crouched position, and he described her physique and said, oh, well, it's quite an unflattering position for her, but she's actually quite a pretty girl and much thinner than this image depicts, which is considered quite sexist and politically incorrect, and some very entertaining tweets coming on both sides of the divide, both for and against him. You know.
I can imagine, yeah. And Simona, we were hearing lots about the dogs, the issue of stray dogs at Sochi. What's being said? You're at BBC Monitoring, and I mean, they disappeared on Friday. What happened to them?
Not quite disappeared. I think this story has been around for a few days, and I think the Twitter and social media storm that we see now was kicked off by a single tweet suggesting that stray dogs are being culled in Sochi. And since then there's been a steady stream of social media postings suggesting that stray dogs are being culled. I think on the one hand we see a lot of tweets condemning this, and it is true that this is an issue, this is a known issue in Sochi, and the authorities are trying to deal with it and tackle it. One way of tackling it, apart from killing the dogs themselves, is they set up a shelter for dogs. Apparently it's the first Russian dog shelter on the Black Sea coast.
Right.
And now we're also hearing a lot of voices of people suggesting that actually it is a problem because stray dogs can pose a big risk to the visitors. There have been some attacks reported, apparently. So on the one hand, you've got a lot of people condemning the culling, on the other hand, people complaining about stray dogs.
Now, we need to fit in the other story. I know you've been watching, Simona, that of the Ice Maiden that appeared in front of every team as they walked around the Olympic Stadium for the opening ceremony. Iran's was more covered up than the others.
Indeed, Iran did stand out. I think it was the only team whose female chaperone dress differed from the others. It was to do with the dress itself, because if you've seen the ceremony, the female chaperones were dressed in white dress with a beautiful headgear, snow boots. The Iranian chaperone had a long skirt, or perhaps it was a pair of trousers concealing her legs, and that was the only delegation whose chaperone basically stood out.
We've got to leave it there. Simona, thanks very much. Anne-Marie, thank you very much. We'll continue to keep you updated on the things that are going on besides the sport, John.
OK, thanks very much indeed, and we'll be back very shortly.